Today I want to talk about something that took quite some time for me to figure out: how to differentiate between a fear response and intuition. This has been pivotal in my healing journey because my entire life my nervous system was always in a state of activation. So much so that I was not even aware until the last few months, when for the first time ever, there were no more threats in my environment that I needed to be bracing for. For trauma survivors especially, intuition and fear can feel almost identical physically, which is what made it so difficult for me to pinpoint. They can both feel intense depending on the situation and make you want to act immediately, but they are not the same thing. And if you've experienced trauma, telling the difference can be challenging because your nervous system learned to stay alert in order to survive. This is what I've learned from my experience. Maybe it can help someone else if they've encountered the same thing. First, intuition. Intuition is usually calm, clear, and there's no confusion surrounding it. There's no urge to spiral into panic-driven what ifs or cycles of rumination. Sometimes it comes as a simple sentence in your mind. Sometimes it's just a subtle shift in your body, like, this isn't right, or this feels safe. It doesn't feel chaotic, even if it's signaling something that needs to be acted upon right away. There's still a grounded effect that can be felt internally. As for fear is often overwhelming and can be anxiety-inducing. It can send your mind racing into hypothetical what-if scenarios and spiral into rumination. It's intense and usually quite reactive. Typically, fear activates your stress response, which can be characterized by a racing heart, shallow breathing, and a sort of tight feeling in your stomach or chest. That's the nervous system going into fight, flight, freeze, or fawn, which is your body's way of protecting you when there is a perceived threat. So how can you tell the difference? In my experience, to determine which one I'm working with in any given moment, I check in with myself and ask, okay, do I feel like there's a calm clarity here, or do I feel more confusion and urgency? If the answer is calm clarity, then that's my intuition. If the answer is anxiousness and or confusion, that's often fear. I've noticed if I can pause and take a deep breath or two and the information remains steady, then that's a sign that I'm dealing with an intuitive signal. If the information intensifies instead when I'm taking a pause, then that's fear spiraling. And sometimes fear is absolutely necessary. If you're walking down a dark street and something feels off, you want your nervous system to activate. If someone is showing red flags or threatening behavior, you want your body to alert you. That's not trauma, that's survival. Fear is designed to protect you from real danger. The problem happens when past wounds convince your body that everything is danger, such as when old experiences get projected onto new situations or when your nervous system reacts to memory instead of reality. If you mistake trauma-based fear for intuition, you might isolate yourself from healthy people. You might avoid opportunities that are actually safe. But if you ignore real fear thinking it's just trauma, you could override legitimate warning signs. So this isn't about silencing fear. It's about refining it. It's about training your nervous system to recognize the difference between a current threat and an old echo of trauma from your past. Throughout my healing journey, I have been learning to recognize which signal is firing so I can figure out how to process the information and respond accordingly. Not every trigger is a threat. Not every intense feeling is intuition. I'm learning the more you slow down and build trust within yourself, your body starts to differentiate safety from survival mode. And over time, intuition becomes easier to recognize. Learning to hear that voice beneath the noise of old wounds is one of the most powerful parts of healing. You can start observing your internal reactions and building that awareness within yourself. This will strengthen your ability to trust yourself with no need for second guessing.